Most of us trade our time for a paycheck. You put in the hours, you get paid. You stop working, the money stops. That is the active income loop. It requires constant daily effort to sustain your survival. To escape this cycle, many people buy a home. You buy a house, hold it for a decade, and watch the market value double. On paper, you have become wealthy. But there is a strict difference between your net worth and your cash flow. This diagram shows capital gain on the left. Your house is worth more. On the right, the system of gears represents cash flow, which drops actual, spendable coins into a pool. If you lose your job tomorrow, the increased value of that house does not buy your groceries. Unless you sell the property or rent it out, a highly valued but illiquid asset provides zero immediate survival value. Hoarding these illiquid assets is a trap. To secure your future, you have to build systems that regularly drop money into your account without your active participation, multiple streams of passive income. To start building those streams, you need a corpus, a dedicated initial pool of capital that you slowly accumulate. The common objection is that a low salary makes saving impossible. However, those surviving on half of your income still manage to pay bills and feed their families. Saving is a psychological discipline. It relies on individual choice rather than a mathematical surplus. Once you have that first small corpus, you can deploy it into zero-barrier assets. Bank fixed deposits are a starting point. You place the money there, and it generates a conservative, predictable trickle of interest without any extra effort. From there, you can step into the stock market. By purchasing shares in Nifty 50 dividend-paying companies, you secure a small slice of corporate profits. The company runs the business. You collect a regular dividend check. These tools generate the first drops of passive income. But achieving a level of cash flow that fully replaces a salary requires moving higher up the asset ladder. Historically, physical real estate is the most desired rung on that ladder. Buying a property and collecting rent is a proven method for generating a heavy, reliable income stream. This chart reveals the difference in real estate returns based on a 1 crore investment. Residential properties typically yield only about 2% in annual rent. To get serious returns, you need commercial properties, which consistently generate yields of 6% or higher. But the math creates an immediate wall. A 6% yield on a major commercial building requires millions in upfront capital. Buying a shopping mall or an office complex outright is out of reach for a solo investor on a standard salary. Without a massive pile of cash, the average earner is blocked from high-tier commercial returns. You need a structural workaround to get past the capital barrier. That workaround is a REIT, a real estate investment trust. It functions much like a mutual fund, but specifically for commercial property. This network diagram illustrates how it bypasses the capital barrier. Instead of one person trying to buy a massive landmark, thousands of individual earners pool their small capital together into a single central node, the trust. The trust takes that collective pool of money and purchases a high-tier commercial skyscraper outright. You do not own the whole building, but you own a fraction of it. When the retail tenants pay their rent, that cash flow enters the trust. It is then sliced into proportional micro-dividends and distributed back to the original investors. A REIT allows an individual to earn passive income from a skyscraper using the same capital they would put into a basic mutual fund. It opens up commercial real estate to anyone with a starting corpus. Even knowing the mechanisms, the biggest barrier is psychological. It is tempting to argue that because life is unpredictable, you should spend your money today rather than saving for an uncertain tomorrow. But unpredictability works both ways. It is entirely possible that you survive well past 60. Arriving at retirement age with zero capital means you will be entirely reliant on your children for basic survival. Then there is the lifestyle trap. Societal pressure often convinces parents to drain their potential investment corpus to pay for elite primary education for their children. Stretching your finances for early prestige schooling leaves you with zero capital. When that same child reaches college age and needs significant funding for higher education, the money you need simply will not be there. Building passive income requires choosing future stability over immediate gratification. By building your corpus now, you ensure your money takes over the heavy lifting when you no longer can.